Okay, let me see when I get on. It'll show me here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Monotalk. And on the show, I always have fantastic and wonderful people. And in the galley and the live chat, they come in here all the time. And we talk about foreign and domestic and international things. We discuss issues that are happening with our judiciaries, our executives, and our legislators. Of course, they totally stuck, and we have a bunch of people that are doing a lot of cool stuff out there that are just coming on the show. And I get people from Australia, Ryan Bannock, awesome. I get people from New Zealand, Europe all the time. I get people from Canada, Florida, all over the place, giving us their information and what they do and how they do it. It's just fantastic, and we have some great discussions. And it's just some good and wonderful information that comes on the show. But every once in a while, here at Monotalk, and we're all about saving the planet and all of its inhabitants. Every once in a while, we have people on our show, okay, and they sometimes are in powerful positions, or they're not, or they're running for positions out there. And today, I have a special gift for you guys today. I have Chris Richardson. And Chris, how are you doing, buddy? Wait, let me unmute you. Hi, Chris. Thank you very much. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fine, James. This is really exciting.
It's
Thank
pretty
you
cool,
very
right?
much for the airtime.
Yeah.
This is good.
You know what's exciting is the technical problems that we were going through for over an
Oh,
hour.
yeah.
I've been through it before. I learned from that, because now I know.
Oh, sure.
Now I know that if I know anybody that has Linux, I'll tell them they're not coming on my show anymore. That's what I'll tell them.
No. I got to talk to the Zoom people.
Yeah, we'll get it handled. We'll get it. I'm kidding.
We're going to get it working.
Yeah, we'll get it working.
So
how are things going? What's going on with your campaign? You're running for Congress.
Well,
that's so awesome.
Yeah, I'm running for Congress in the 7th district in California.
Excellent.
And we are looking forward to changing the current person who's in charge right now and in holding down the seat. He's a big Affordable Care Act guy, and that's been a real gift to the insurance companies, unfortunately.
Who are we talking about? Who is this culprit, this criminal?
Ami Bera.
Oh, God. Oh,
yeah, I know.
I mean, is he an okay guy, or is he just totally corporate?
He's pretty much all corporate. He is a doctor, but he's in the pocket of
Big pharma.
the HMOs of the pharma, the insurance companies, and it's amazing how they've all opened up shops near where his office is.
That's very odd,
isn't it? That's so cool. And I've invited him to our World Vista meetings, and World Vista is a not-for-profit that we started back in 2002.
Right.
And it was to bring the VA's integrated hospital system out to open source. Right. Now, it's already available under the Freedom of Information Act, but it is a bear to try and install. And this is what we've done. We've tried to make it as easy as people to adopt. And it is an adoption because you get the source code, and it's all free. You can download it tonight and run it in probably the next 20 minutes on your PC.
Wow.
There's a virtualized version that comes up in a couple of minutes. To actually install it, the Vista model has like 180 different aspects of the hospital in it, in that package.
Right.
And the people that live with it and live by it have a vested interest in it, because they have feedback that they give to their programmer, and the programmer puts it into the code.
Right.
They've got the source code, and the programmer can make it happen within minutes, hours, days.
Mm-hmm.
It's very quick. Whereas if you're going through a third party vendor, it's 18 to 24 months,
That's
to make
crazy.
any kind of change. And so you're getting a solution that's 2 years old, and you spend an awful lot of money doing it.
That's nuts. So how's the campaign
Oh,
going totally?
the campaign is going pretty well. I'm on the ballot. Um,
How much did that cost?
that was about well, I'm not exactly sure, tell you the truth, because it I had to get 2,000 signatures in order to get on the ballot, or uh, the number of signatures I got is prorated against that 2,000, and then
Like a ratio in a sense, right?
there's a
Yeah.
ratio, and I wrote out the check for them like $3,600, and it's up to $3,600.
Okay.
So it's something less. It's probably like 10%
All right.
less.
So you had, let's just say, guesstimate, you had like 1,500 names. No,
Well,
800.
I had 200, and
200. That's a
that's
lot.
well, it is actually,
Yeah.
because it's hard to get people to commit anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's
Where
like
is the where's what? Excuse me. What is the state?
California.
Right. I just making sure we get people
Yeah.
all over. So the
Hey,
state
they
seventh
they,
district, right?
yeah,
So
yep.
here's the thing: is how big is that area that you're talking about?
Well, it's around Sacramento. That's fairly big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But the thing is that, people just don't want to get involved anymore, and they're so disillusioned with government right now
Right.
that it's next to impossible. And, I thought, I had worked for the VA for over 10 years.
Wow.
Well, and before that, I worked for SAIC,
What is
working
that? I'm sorry.
Science Applications International Corporation. They're
Uh,
out of San Diego,
okay.
and they won a contract with the Department of Defense hospitals. They did all 205 hospitals around the world
Uh-huh.
for 1.02 $1.01 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it. Actually, that and the military changed the platform 3 times on them, and they still accomplished it.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. In fact, one of the sea trials that they did on board the Kennedy, the aircraft carrier Kennedy, they went out and they had a great time, and they sailed back in, and the SAIC folks went on board to deinstall the unit, and the captain sent down a detachment of Marines to stop them because he
Whoa.
wanted to keep the system.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So
Well, that's the thing, is that once they try it, they like it and they stay with it, and now that's what Trump is getting rid of,
okay.
is that system that, we own.
I know that's terrible. That's crazy. Okay, so
Yes,
in regards to your campaign, you're moving along. Do
right.
you have people that are helping you out there? It looks like you've got a website. It's it's
It,
it's
yeah, it's been.
www.
I've got some friends that are working on the website,
Right,
and I'm working on the
right.
content.
And then you're
And
gonna you're gonna have something up soon in regards to your
very soon,
Facebook,
very soon.
Chris
Yeah.
Richardson for Congress, and then I know you don't like Twitter. Nope.
That's okay.
None of us older folk like Twitter that much. I'll tell you right now. But the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is, but it's you got to put it up there, bro.
You got
You
to.
got
I
to.
know.
This it's
I know.
all about social media is huge. And
Yes,
your opponent, if I could go to
he's
his
got
Twitter.
lots of money. He's got lots of money.
Well, of
That's what
course,
it is.
he's a
Yeah.
doctor. He's got some money, but I guarantee you, he has websites and Twitters and
Oh, sure.
Facebooks. He's all over the place. He's got a campaign manager. He probably pays a
Mhm.
couple bucks an hour or something. Who knows? But the
Oh,
thing
it's
is,
much better than
so
$15
so you're
an hour.
competing
I
you're
can
competing with
guarantee
some
you.
people that have a big head start, and I
Yeah.
hear that a lot with a lot of Green Party members. So the
Hmm.
thing is when you're dealing with this guy, and I know you're for universal health care and all that other stuff. How do you think that you're going to what exactly are you going to do or tell everyone? Let's just say you guys had a debate. Let's just say what would
Okay.
be the major thing that you would bring up that would probably put some like a very not very good light on him, like a dark shadow. What would you bring up? Not intentionally, but just factually.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What would it be? I mean, what would be the big thing that you'd probably kind of
Well,
shine on him that he
health,
needs to be exposed for?
right. Health insurance adds nothing to health care. It increases the cost of health care. It increases the delays to the point where a lot of the patients wait until they are critical before seeing a doctor,
Right,
and our outcomes are horrible. We
right.
spend 4 times as much as any other country on healthcare,
Sheesh.
and our outcomes are among the lowest in the world. And like I say, the insurance companies add nothing to healthcare,
Right.
and basically they have raised the price of healthcare to the point where you have to join their club in
But
order to get to healthcare.
so
and
do you have
and
to go through like what do they call that
you
when
have to pay their
you
premium.
have to pay their premiums, you got to pay all their
And
money, and then the other thing
yep,
is you have to go through the hoops, you have to jump over the
exactly.
this and that.
And they still retain the right to deny you service.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good job if you get it.
So
And
is
the
he?
affordable,
He's not for
oh no,
health universal health care.
well, he is for the Affordable Health Care Act, which,
He's for Romney Care. Is that what you're saying?
well, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a really good scam if you're a health insurance.
It's a good scam.
Well, they're guaranteed a profit. Number two, there's no pre-existing conditions under Affordable Care Act. Unfortunately, the insurance companies know that it's not going to succeed and it's going to fail.
Right.
Now, all those people, all those patients are now outed. They are now known as having pre-existing conditions.
Uh-huh.
So they're now assigned to a much more expensive pool,
Wow.
you know, and their only salvation is single payer. That's it. I mean, under single payer, pre-existing conditions mean nothing. If you need help, you get it. And what is happening is that the insurance companies are becoming the gatekeepers on health. You talk about back when McCain was running the death squads, the death boards that
Yeah.
were,
Yes.
yeah. Well, that's what the insurance companies are actually becoming.
It seems like
Because,
that.
yeah, well, it is,
It is. It's not that it
Right.
seems. It's actually
It
happening.
actually is,
Wow.
and
That is so.
it,
So what you're saying is he likes. This is the way I see it. He likes the pooling of just a few major companies, Kaiser, blah 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 blah, and
yeah,
they all work together and talk
of
amongst
course.
themselves,
And
and they create
they
the
fix the
premiums, and they
prices.
create the copays, and they create the costs, and they are still working with big pharma and
Uh-huh.
big time, and they don't mind finding ways of gouging prices and doing all this
Nope,
stuff because
not a bit.
Romney Care.
Well,
Yeah,
it's good for their business,
yeah.
I mean, if you raise the prices to the point where the individual without health care cannot afford it,
Mhm.
the only way they can get health care is to join your club.
Yeah, yeah.
And heaven help you if you've got a pre-existing condition.
But the club, it costs a lot of money though right now, bro.
It really does.
It costs
It
a
really
lot.
does.
It's that what a scam though. Remember, just real quick, remember Dennis Kucinich? He tried to get through there to do single payer back in
Uh-huh.
'08, '09, and
Oh
10.
yeah.
And he tried really hard. They said, oh, Shay, sure, sure, sure. And then they brushed him under the rug. Okay, that's good to know. So you can go after him about that. Is there anything else that this guy's doing that could probably be brought out?
Well,
I mean, we're not
um,
going to, I don't want to rain on his parade too bad. I'm just saying,
no, well, no, no. The thing is that single payer is inevitable because the industrialists are realizing that, oh, if we have single payer, we don't have to negotiate with the insurance companies any longer.
right,
They are no longer feeding off of our profits.
right,
We are getting more profits back that we can distribute to our employees. And they are not spending money on the insurance because, the premiums, because they now have single payer. And it's brilliant for the industrialist. It's also brilliant for the employee and the consultant and the part-time employee.
uh-huh,
All that becomes so much easier under single payer. And you know, if you lose your job, what you were faced with was that, my God, my children are no longer covered.
right,
And heaven help us if my wife gets sick. No, that's not a problem any longer.
yeah.
You still have coverage until you get a job.
Cobra's the biggest scam.
Yeah, of course. But you
Cobra's
see that, but single
Cobra
payer,
is what Cobra is. It's a fucking venomous snake.
sure, of course it is. And the health insurance companies are parasites, you know?
Wow. Yeah. So anyway, so you're going to go against him.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough climb, you know that. But if you can
Uh-huh.
get him in front of something, you'll have some issues to talk about. How about his voting record? Have you checked on that? Because I'm sorry, I don't know.
Uh,
Have you looked
well,
into
it's
any of that?
been very pro business and very pro,
Corporation and very pro.
corporation.
How about wars? Is he a war monger? Or
Um, I really haven't checked, but I wouldn't be surprised.
wouldn't be
I
surprised.
would not be
Well, we're gonna
surprised.
start doing some research for you and get some more information to you.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
hey, since we're getting to know you, I got a
Okay.
question, and everybody's got to know. Even though it's just a little bit of time ago, there, Chris, Mr. Richardson. Where are you from, and tell us about kind of your history and what you
Well,
do, and you
I
know,
I started out in Lake Worth, California, Lake Worth, Florida, back in Florida,
right.
and I went to Palm Beach Junior College, just south of where Trump lives, and I went to Florida Atlantic University, and I got my AA there, and I was in what they called the Traveling Scholars Program under Florida, the state of Florida, which meant that you could go into any state university and sign up for any class from any other state university in Florida.
Mm,
And so I went to Florida State University, University of South Florida, and Florida Atlantic University, where I finally got my degree.
wow.
Uh, yeah.
You,
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Your degree and
Okay. Okay. My degree was in biology with the AA
uh,
and marine biology in with Florida Atlantic University. And when I was at Florida State University, I was working on a project called MARMAP. Uh, I was actually done out of jobs by 3 U.S. presidents.
wow.
The first one was Nixon when he cut funding to the project I was on, uh, MARMAP, and I was training to become a larval fish identifier.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, it was really cool stuff, and it was the kind of work I had been doing with the state of Florida for a couple of months
Right.
before, or actually a couple of years before, when I was at uh, Palm Beach Junior College, and So I went down to University of South Florida to pick up an ichthyology course, and I had contacts with the Florida Department of Natural Resources, and was their um, assistant um, curator of the state's ichthyological collection,
Mhm.
the fish collection, basically. And so, I was doing a lot of interesting stuff with them, uh, and then I ran into my major professor down there at University of South Florida. And he says, "Oh well, that project's gone." So, okay, I went back to the east coast of Florida, to Florida Atlantic University at Boca Raton, mouth of the rat. It's a lovely place to be.
You got kids and stuff. You got grandkids. You got.
I have two fur children, um, a rat terrier and a shorty Jack Russell. And
Shorty Jack Russell.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
so you don't have any children.
no, no,
Okay, so
no.
all right. Doesn't
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fine. That's fine. Were you in the military at all, or
No, I was classified as like 7Y. After the blind and the deaf, they come and get me.
I don't know what that means. So,
It means that I was exempt
okay,
because of health issues,
healthy. Okay, okay, but
which
you
is
gave it a
which
shot
really
though. But you gave it a shot.
I did,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't
and
matter to me as long as listen.
well, no, no,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well,
yeah.
I had an A1 rating for intellect, but I had a history of ulcers and history of asthma, so
Oh,
they
okay.
threw it out, and it was really funny because I was a diver. I dove for a living.
That's
You know,
cool.
it was
That's cool.
that was up at
So you
Florida
did a lot of
State.
diving in Florida, right?
Oh gosh, yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yes,
a
yes,
lot of
yes.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, I loved it.
So
It
you
was
love the
amazing.
ocean. Is your core, because my core is like saving the planet and all of its inhabitants.
Oh sure.
You're. What's interesting is you have that feeling. You want that to happen, yet
Hmm.
you don't have any kids. That's freaking awesome.
Well,
Do you have what about you have loved ones, right? Family.
yeah, yeah. I
You have
have a
brothers and
wife,
sisters.
and I have a sister. She's still in Florida, and I have four nieces.
Okay, care about
And
them, of course. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
And you care. That's really cool to
yeah.
hear that there's people out there that actually genuinely care. And I have a bunch of reasons out there why I care, because and probably more I don't even know about. But what I'm saying is that it's important that we have people like you that actually genuinely care, and it's
Uh-huh.
huge. That's totally huge. The
Well, that's the
biggest.
thing. I'm in it to try and improve things for everybody. I want to raise. I want to be the tide that raises all boats.
Wow.
You know, um, people have really gotten a raw deal almost ever since FDR. Um, he had the citizens. Uh, what was it? It was the Citizens Bill of Rights,
Right.
the Citizens Bill of Rights,
Right.
and he came so close to actually presenting it, but he died too soon.
Right.
And there actually was a socialist that was running that was gonna put it into practice, and they, the DNC put uh, Truman in, and he took it away. You know,
Wow. Jesus.
and it's really funny because you know Eisenhower did an awful lot for education, and he also did an awful lot for interstate commerce by building the highway system. And the highway system was, the reason for the highway system was to be able to get military ordnance from one coast to the other coast without having to go through Panama. And basically, that's why we have the interstate system. And it was a shot in the arm for commerce. you know, I mean, it's running today, and
Right.
it's in bad shape, but it that's one of the areas that really needs to be beefed up now, and maintenance performed on our interstate highway systems.
Is there anything up there in Sacramento in the Seventh District that needs some help?
Oh, well, there's homeless, and there are some sanctuaries that are getting ready to be closed.
Uh,
And considering, you know, at the beginning of World War II, we were able to throw up Manzanar in a matter of months,
right.
and we could do the same thing for our homeless
Right.
people
Right.
in a matter of months. And an awful lot of the homeless actually have jobs,
Oh
but
yeah.
they
Yes.
aren't making enough money to have a home of their own.
Right.
And uh, a
So rent
$15.
control. You're all for rent for
Oh, sure.
pre.
Well, not only that, but hit it from the other side. Increase, the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Ooh,
You know,
nice.
and one of the things is that these people are going to spend that money in the local economy,
Right.
and that's going to be the shot in the arm that the economy needs.
Oh,
It
totally.
isn't the stock market. The stock market is for people who have way too much money already,
Yeah.
you know, and you know you've got to really concentrate on the people that are living day to day, and we are moving away from a production economy and more towards a services economy.
Hmm.
And that's a real problem because we aren't really producing all that much, except in the local economies where you have diners, and where you're making food for people and things like that, but they're consumed right there.
Hmm.
you know there's not much in the way of durables that are actually being produced, except for maybe the guy who's mending your shoes, and
Uh, a durable. Could you give me quick an example?
durable things are like your washing machine, your refrigerator,
Okay.
and things that you're going to buy once in a blue moon.
So Maytag.
Maytag, yeah, and the Sears stores are closing. and,
Oh my
uh,
God! Yeah, everywhere.
yeah,
I
you
bought a
know.
couple of jackets for like 78% off. It was so good.
Well,
It's
brick
terrible.
and mortar stores are just going out of style. They're they're
Those
they're
those are the brick.
disappearing like crazy,
Yeah,
and so there goes an awful lot of people's livelihoods.
yeah. They're centralizing into one place called Walmart. That's just
Uh,
disgusting,
yeah.
which is really sad. So let me kind of go through the history. Florida, California, here, had
Okay,
kids.
okay. And my first job out of Florida
Okay.
was with Shared Medical Systems in Philadelphia. It was a wonderful place to be from. Um, and
From Philly.
well, yeah, it was interesting. And I was working in a little town called King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. And it has one of the largest malls, at least at the time it was.
Right.
And it was huge. But I I'm originally from Florida, and I did not get along well with winter. And the coup de
Yeah, it gets
grace,
super cold up where you're at. It
yeah,
snows out there
well,
sometimes.
and to make things worse, my first trip with the company was to a hospital in Chicago in January. I got the feeling I hadn't been to Chicago. I just found where it was buried, And I came back to Philadelphia and started looking for a southbound company.
Right.
And that southbound company was a company called Singer Link down in Houston, Texas.
Right.
Now they don't get a whole lot of snow down there, but they do get mud, and I do know how to drive in mud. But at any rate, I got down there and was SingerLink made aircraft simulators.
Right.
Um, Link's little blue box that is a pilot trainer that they had for years and years, and now they've gone high tech. And my first job with them was on the F-16 simulator.
Mm-hmm.
It was for the European market.
Right.
So we were going through and taking out all the references to nuclear ordnance
Jeez.
out of the cockpit. And, you know, when it arrived in Israel, they were putting it all back in.
That's crazy. That's nuts. That's totally nuts. That's crazy. That whole thing just seems nuts. Hey, I got a
Yeah,
question if you don't mind.
sure. No, please.
I've got a question from the galley, which is the live
Oh, good.
chat. We got to kind of move a little quicker. I got a lightning round for you too here coming up. It's the question isn't if you can see the live chat. Do you see
Yeah,
the live chat? And
yeah.
then there's also not just the live chat, but the Zoom chat. You see that too?
I got the Zoom group chat. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see it says question mark, question mark, question mark, give your advocation of open source technology. What are your thoughts on direct democracy systems using open source communication applications? That was for Blah Blah in the live chat. His name is Blah Blah.
Oh, okay. Well,
To Blah Blah.
okay. Well, you know, open source code is usually very, very safe in that when somebody finds a hole, it gets patched really quick.
Right.
And, you know, you can't beat the price, you know.
Right. How does that help anything? I don't understand what that does.
Well, it helps in that uh, it closes it puts locks on the doors. If you can't, it can't modify that code while it's in the voting machine or the interface for the voting, then it's pretty doggone safe. But the problem that we ran into with the voting machines, with the primary with Bernie Sanders
Right.
and
I remember.
Hillary.
I remember.
Yeah. Well, she did really well in those precincts that had the hackable machines, and
Isn't that interesting?
they just found a couple of million ballots here in California that were never counted.
Go figure. Go figure.
Go
All right. So
figure.
you understand. So you're giving me the gist of that. That's interesting. I haven't. Blah blah's got. I got another question if you don't mind.
Okay, please.
Okay. If you could achieve only a single policy in your political career,
Okay.
what would you prioritize and why?
Ooh.
Like a single policy, something that could come
Yeah,
out.
that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, if you don't have the answer now, we can give
No,
you
no.
one.
Well,
I got a bunch.
I mean, my first would be uh, free education.
Yeah, that's
You know,
huge. That's
that
huge.
is an investment in the future.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
we don't have an educated electorate, we're going to get fooled every time.
right. Somebody was saying the other day, and it was called, and I'm trying to remember the term. It was called civics,
Hmm.
civics education, and what they dealt with is they taught about how the government works, how your how things work in the
Hmm.
city, in the county,
Right,
in the state.
right, exactly.
They even discussed, and they don't have that anymore. They don't. Nobody really.
No,
They'll
no,
briefly go over the Constitution, but you've
right,
got to get a law degree to really know. I mean,
right.
these are things, how to fix your credit, how to deal with things. There's
Hmm.
so many things out there that
Hey,
education
just
doesn't provide.
opening a checking account, or
Yeah,
and
how to
knowing
balance your checkbook.
balancing your checkbook,
Yeah, yeah,
recognizing if the fraudulent charge has been made on your credit card.
right.
Little things like that.
Yeah,
What do you do once you find it?
yeah.
And this is one of the reasons why I am a big proponent of directed independent studies, where you have a mentor basically that is going to go over with you how you're going to arrange your education.
Oh, good. Like a counselor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the thing is that getting people to think about how to solve problems is
Critical
really
thinking, solving problems.
learning how to learn is so
Oh,
huge, man.
I need to go to school for that myself, right?
Well,
Learning how to.
it is. It
No, I'm
really
not
is.
kidding. I need to learn how to learn properly because I suck at learning. It's so bad.
Well,
Okay,
well,
so here's a. I'm gonna go through the lightning round and we're gonna kind of wrap it up.
sure.
Remember,
That's fine.
the thing about this is
Yep.
get to know you. We know where
Short
you're
and
from,
sweet.
know what you're doing, what you're going for. This
You
is
bet.
good stuff. Okay, and you just give me a thumbs up and how bad it is. Kind of make it
Go for it.
short and to the point. Bullet points. Bullet points.
Let's go. Let's
Okay,
do it.
okay. Citizens United.
Citizens United. Well,
Bullet points. Bullet points.
yeah. Well, they're
I knew this was gonna happen.
that's an emotional point.
Yeah.
Geez. Yeah, it's not working for us. It not the way it should anyway. But oh well. Let's go on. What's the next one?
Okay, so McCutcheon versus the FEC. That's
I'm not familiar with
okay.
it.
That's look those two up. Those are important things. We know you're for universal health care and single payer. We know you're
Right.
for education. How about ranked choice voting?
Oh, very much so.
Okay,
Very
ranked
much.
choice because you're green. Ranked choice voting. That's
Absolutely.
important. Okay.
In fact, I've written some simulators on that.
Oh, sweet,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, here's some good questions. Do you watch Jimmy Dore?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Ben Swan?
I had from you actually,
Oh,
and
thank
I
you.
looked him up.
That guy needs to pay me for advertising for him. That's what he needs.
Okay, yeah, he does.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. He's got a good program about Syria and the lion,
Well,
stuff like that.
how about the same progressive?
Oh, she's awesome.
Isn't she? Oh
Yeah.
man.
A lot of people don't. You've got to know her to
You
get to know
you
her.
gotta hang in with her because she gets so emotional about
Yeah.
things, and but her facts are right on.
Oh,
You
totally,
know,
totally,
it is
totally.
just
There's
like
so many like you've heard it. How about Caitlin Johnston or Susie
mm.
Dawson?
Well, and there's Eva out of Syria, the lady that's
Oh yeah,
reporting out of Syria. Holy
yeah,
shit, she's out there on the firing line, and it's amazing she's still alive. But I'm glad she's there. I am so glad she's there.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. Hey, you ever heard of Abby Martin?
Oh yeah, very much.
Isn't she amazing? So
RT. Yeah.
yeah, and then we've had Tim Black on this show.
Oh really?
Yeah, we've had Jamarl Thomas. You might want to look him up.
Oh yeah, I know Jamal.
He's
Yeah.
been on here.
Yeah.
Holly Silliger's been on here a couple times. Jamal's been on here like 5 or 6 times, I think.
Really?
And he's been on
Oh.
Eben's show, and a few other shows that are,
Hmm.
we're all kind of intertwined.
Sure.
Who else? Who else? There's some good information out there, but
There
sadly,
is. You have to.
sadly, it's not coming from mainstream media. Here's
No.
my last question. Here's my last question.
Okay.
My last question. Okay, my last, and this is a good question.
Okay.
Mainstream media,
Uh-huh.
bullshit or real shit?
Bullshit. Well, it's propaganda.
Yeah.
It's propaganda.
Isn't that
I mean,
sad?
everything that you're hearing is the corporate mantra,
Right.
and you're never going to hear anything against a corporation unless it happens to be the opposition.
Right.
It's just so sad.
It's sad. It's so bad.
There are 6 corporations that control all of our media,
So,
except for the internationals.
right.
And I strongly encourage people, listen to the BBC, listen to, all the other news feeds that are out of this country. and you start getting a picture of
Yeah.
what
Doesn't
what
mean
we
they're
really.
perfect. Doesn't mean they're
No,
giving
they
us,
aren't.
but
Somewhere
it gives you a
a
bigger
perspective.
perspective. Right.
Absolutely.
Getting things from
You know, the
different
truth
angles.
lies somewhere in between.
Right.
And that's the thing, is
Okay.
that don't take everything you hear in this country as gospel, and just look at it with a jaundiced eye, because
I
they're
like that. Look at it with a jaundiced eye. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's very
Well,
nice. That's very good. Okay, so here. Oh, you know what? I got a question. I got one last.
sure.
I thought I had the last question, but I got
No,
another
no,
question.
that's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. So here it is. So let's just say, you were elected,
Okay.
right? And you were in office. The first thing that you would kind of tackle, that's, give me one or two or three things that you would go after, like to,
Well,
you know,
that's a darn good question, because I've been
there's so
thinking about
much.
what I would do, once I got in,
Yeah.
and um, I would want to see about getting more of the votes actually roll call votes rather than just button votes, so that people go on the record as, this is what is going on, and you voted for this, and this is what the side effect is of that,
Uh,
and why are you putting all of these people out of jobs? Why are you sending their jobs to Asia? And
Other countries. Yeah.
yeah, and it's
There's a
we
lot
got to
going
do
on.
some we got to do something for the people.
Yeah, it's time.
Doggone it.
It's time. It's
If
time.
this is going to be a strong country, we got to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think strength is not our. Uh,
Well,
I don't think
there
it's.
are kinds of strength
Yeah.
too, and I'm not talking military strength.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking strength of character. Char-
Ooh, we need a
character
lot of that.
character is what you do in the dark.
That's true.
You know.
Then my character really sucks. I'm just telling
Well,
you.
but
Okay, so hey,
that's the mantra you have to think about
that's good.
when
That
you're
my
doing.
character really sucks. But anyway, okay,
No, no, no. What you do in the dark is
it's your
there.
own personal business, people. It's your own personal
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Okay, so hey, listen, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for coming on here. Is there anything you want
My
to tell us?
pleasure.
How can we help you? What do we need to do to
Oh
get you moving?
my God, I'm just trying to get my head around all of it and get it all in motion. And
You want to do this?
I listen. I've questioned my sanity multiple times.
It's not
When
easy,
I
man. It's not easy, bro. You're gonna have it's
I know it. I know it. But the thing is that if we don't do it, who will?
there you go.
And we are in bad straits right now because we didn't stand up earlier. And it's like what they said about the Nazis. When they came for the Jews, I said nothing, and when they came for the Catholics, I said nothing, and when they came for me, nobody said anything.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. So, hey, thank you very much for coming on Monotog.
my
Thank you very
pleasure.
much for the interview.
We'll
Please
do
let
this
every.
again
Oh,
for
for
sure.
sure. So, what I'm going to do is just say aloha to everybody. I'm going to try to get up back and running. I'm not sure if I'm going to be back later. There could be somebody else with another show on. If so, I'll try to get you the link. But
Okay,
I want to say thanks so much, Chris Richardson, running for
appreciate it.
Congress. His website's being built right now. It's RCR for Congress 2018.us. His Twitter's coming up too. We got to help get this guy in. We don't need,
Okay.
just get him. Once he's in, he's gonna crush it.
Yeah.
I just got a feeling. All of a sudden he'll just go burp and just start moving and grooving in the right
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah.
But just letting you know, Chris, this is what you're doing now.
I know.
You're gonna
I
you
know.
got to. It's time to. It's go time, right? It's go time.
Absolutely. You betcha.
I,
Okay.
I'm a coach. I coach kids all the time. I'll
Understand.
get you pumped up, bro. I'll
Thank you.
get you pumped up. Okay. All right. Anyway, aloha. Thank you very much.
Aloha.
Mahalo nui loha.
Aloha.
Thank you very much. Take care, you
You bet.
guys. James
Thank
Amaya
you.
Tuck and Chris Richardson running for Congress. Love
You
that.
bet.
Take care.